Ava sat quietly in her mother's living room, surrounded by faces that were supposed to love her. Denise, her mother, Marcus, her older brother, Aunt Lillian, and Tara, her cousin. The room felt tight, heavy, like the air itself was waiting for something bad to happen. She didn't know why her mother had called this family meeting, but the looks on their faces told her it wasn't for anything good. Then Marcus spoke first as if he owned the room. "Ava, we need your apartment," he said. "Not ask, need." Aunt Lillian nodded quickly. "Yes, sweetheart. Marcus needs stability right now. You should hand it over. It's the right thing to do." Denise folded her arms like the judge of Ava's life. "You're single. You don't need a big, fancy place. Your brother has a future to build." It came out of nowhere. No warning. No kindness. Just a decision they had already made for her. Ava didn't move. She didn't shout. Her face stayed calm, almost too calm. But inside, she felt something old and painful rise up. The same feeling she had since childhood. The feeling of being the one who always had to give, to sacrifice, to step aside so Marcus could shine. They didn't see her hard work. They didn't care about the nights she cried from exhaustion. They never asked what she needed. They only wanted to take. Marcus even leaned forward like he was doing her a favor. "Come on, Ava. Don't make this difficult. You know it's your duty." Duty. That word hit her like a slap. She looked at each of them slowly, one by one. Her voice was soft, steady, but it cut through the room like a blade. "Why?" she asked. "Do you think I owe you my life?" Ava grew up in a financially unstable household where she was treated as the helper, while Marcus was always the golden child. From a young age, she was expected to take care of things, cleaning, cooking, helping with bills, and keeping the house running. Marcus, on the other hand, was praised for everything, even when he did nothing. If he brought home a low grade, Denise would say, "It's okay, Marcus tried." But if Ava brought home a high grade, her mother would barely look at it and say, "Good. Now go help your brother." Ava learned early that no matter how hard she worked, Marcus would always be the favorite. The only escape she found was through education. She studied late at night while everyone slept. She went to school tired because she worked part-time jobs after class. She earned scholarships by pushing herself harder than anyone knew. When other teenagers were hanging out with friends, Ava was stocking shelves, working night shifts, or doing homework under dim lights. She built her future inch by inch, with no help from anyone. After years of saving every small amount she could, she finally achieved something she once thought was impossible. She bought her own luxury apartment. It wasn't just a place to stay. It was a symbol of her freedom. For the first time, she had a peaceful home where no one shouted at her, used her, or treated her like she was invisible. It was the first place that felt like hers, truly hers. Marcus, meanwhile, carried his old habits into adulthood. He started business after business, but none lasted. He took loans he never repaid, made promises he never kept, and every time he failed, he ran to Ava. And every time, her mother pushed her to help your brother, he's struggling. Ava paid his debts, covered his mistakes, and even bailed him out of situations he created. But as Ava's life improved, her family's demands grew. The more she succeeded, the more they tried to take from her. Instead of being proud of her, they acted as if her achievements belonged to them. And slowly, Ava felt the weight on her shoulders getting heavier. She realized she had built a life through sweat and sacrifice, and her family was trying to tear it down piece by piece, as if she had no right to her own success. For the first time in her life, Ava began to understand. If she didn't protect what she earned, they would never stop taking. Marcus reveals he already told people he would be moving into Ava's apartment soon. He said it casually, like it was already a done deal, like Ava had no say. "Everyone knows I'm moving in next month," he said with a proud smile. "I told Uncle James, Aunt Rita, even some of my friends. They're all happy for me." Ava stared at him, shocked. She hadn't agreed to anything. She hadn't even known about this plan, until that very moment. Before she could speak, Aunt Lillian stepped in with her firm, bossy tone. "We already decided, sweetheart. You will move back into your old childhood room in your mother's house. It makes more sense. That apartment is too big for you alone. We already decided." They talked about her life like she wasn't even in the room. Ava felt her chest tighten. "And who exactly is we?" she asked. Denise didn't flinch. "It's for the best, Ava. You told everyone you didn't mind sharing the apartment. I explained to the family that you even offered it. Ava froze. I offered it, she repeated slowly. When? Her mother didn't answer. She just looked away, pretending she didn't hear the question. Then Tara, who had been quiet the whole time, cleared her throat nervously. She wouldn't look Ava in the eye. I think I should tell you something, she whispered. Marcus has a key. Ava frowned. A key to what? Tara swallowed hard. Your apartment. Ava felt the world tilt for a moment. I never gave him a key. Marcus shifted uncomfortably, then shrugged with a fake smile. Relax, Ava. I just made a copy. It's no big deal. I'm moving in anyway, so you broke into my home, Ava said, her voice cold. No one spoke. They didn't deny it. They didn't apologize. They acted like she was being dramatic for reacting at all. Aunt Lillian sighed loudly. Ava, don't make this ugly. Families share. Marcus needs a stable place. You're young, you'll figure something out. Ava felt surrounded, trapped, like walls were closing in around her. It wasn't a request. It wasn't a conversation. This was a takeover, planned behind her back, executed like she had no rights, no voice, no boundaries. She saw it clearly now. They weren't asking for help. They were claiming ownership over her life, her apartment, her hard work, her independence. As she stood there listening to them speak over her, a cold realization settled deep inside her. Her family had crossed the ultimate line. They didn't just want her to sacrifice again. They wanted to take everything she had built. And this time, Ava knew she couldn't stay silent. Ava pushes back, challenging their entitlement. She takes a deep breath and looks straight at Marcus. You don't get to decide where I live or what I do with my apartment, she says firmly. I worked for that place. You didn't. Marcus immediately snaps back. You owe the family, Ava. You got educated because we supported you. You think you did everything alone. Ava almost laughed at the lie. Supported me, she repeated. I worked night shifts. I paid my own fees. Marcus cuts her off. You lived under Mom's roof. That counts. So don't act like you're better than us now. Denise steps in, crossing her arms like she's the victim. Ava, I sacrificed so much for you. You wouldn't have made it without me. I let you stay here while you went to school. I fed you. I took care of you. Ava feels something sharp twist inside her. Memories flood back. Memories her mother pretends never happened. At 14, Ava was the one working at a small shop after school, so she could help with the electricity bills. She remembered coming home tired, only to hear Denise complain that she wasn't doing enough. She remembered seeing Marcus take money from her drawer, her college savings, and Denise defending him, saying, he needed it more than you. Even when Marcus messed up, her mother found a way to blame Ava. If you had watched him better, he wouldn't have failed, Denise would say, as if Ava were the parent. Ava's hands shake slightly as these memories hit her. She stands taller. I worked for everything I have. Not you. Not Marcus. Me. The room explodes. Aunt Lillian gasps dramatically. How dare you speak to your mother like that? Tara whispers. Ava, calm down. But her voice is shaky, like even she knows Ava is right. Denise's voice rises. You see, this is why people say you're selfish. We're your family. Families share. Families help each other. Ava meets her mother's eyes. Helping is a choice. What you're doing is taking. Marcus slams his hand on the table. If you won't hand over the apartment, I'll take it another way. I can claim it legally. Family rights. You think the court won't understand a son needing a home? Ava stares at him in disbelief. Family rights? That's not even a real thing. Marcus smirks. We'll see. The room feels like it's closing in on her. They're not listening. They don't want to listen. In their minds, her success belongs to them. Her hard work belongs to them. She belongs to them. Ava's breathing becomes tight. She steps back. Denise moves toward her, but Ava shakes her head. I need a minute. Without waiting for permission, because she doesn't need it, Ava walks out the front door and steps into the cool air. She closes her eyes and lets the wind hit her face. For a moment, she feels the sting of fear, betrayal, and anger all mixed together. Her heart is heavy, but something stronger pushes through. Determination. She will not fall apart. She will not give in. She will not be bullied into losing the life she built piece by piece. Ava opens her eyes, steadier now. This isn't over. Not even close. Text messages showing Marcus planning to forge her signature appear on Ava's phone as she steps back into the living room. Her hands are steady now. Her voice is calm, almost too calm, as she says, "I need you all to see something." She puts her phone on the table and opens the first set of messages. They are from Marcus to one of his friends. "I'll just sign her name. She won't know. Once I move in, everything will be in my name anyway." Marcus's face turns pale. "Ava, you weren't supposed to." She cuts him off. "I wasn't supposed to find out you were planning to forge my signature?" "Really?" Before he can answer, she opens another message thread. This one with Denise. Ava reads aloud. "Yes, he has a key copy. Just make sure she doesn't change the locks yet." Aunt Lillian gasps. Tara looks down at her hands. Marcus shakes his head like it's all a misunderstanding. But Ava continues. "You knew he had a key he wasn't supposed to have. And you did nothing." Denise tries to speak, but Ava plays Tara's voice note next. Tara's frightened voice fills the room. "Ava, I think they're planning something with the apartment. Please be careful. I didn't want to be part of this, but they won't listen to me." Tara looks like she might cry. "I tried to warn you," she whispers. Ava nods. "I know. Thank you." But the biggest twist is still on her screen. She opens a final file, documents and emails showing credit applications, electricity account transfers and change of address forms. All under Ava's name. None of them filled out by her. She looks directly at Marcus. "You used my identity. You tried to move the utilities and credit accounts into your name. You planned to take my apartment by making it look like you were already living there." Marcus steps back, voice shaking. "Ava, you don't understand. I just needed a fresh start. Ava turns to her mother. "And you knew?" Denise freezes. For a moment she tries to hold her cold expression, but it cracks. I only wanted to protect Marcus's future. He's your brother. He deserves a chance." Ava stares at her. "And I don't." Silence. She takes a slow breath, her voice strong. "I noticed strange credit alerts weeks ago. That's why I talked to a lawyer. I showed him everything. The accounts. The messages. The unauthorized key. All of it." Marcus's mouth drops open. Denise looks like she might faint. Ava continues, her tone calm but powerful. "I'm pressing charges. Identity fraud. Illegal entry. Attempted property theft." The room goes completely silent. No one moves. No one breathes. Marcus whispers, You wouldn't." Ava meets his eyes. "I would. And I am." She picks up her phone, turns toward the door, and pauses only once. "I will not be manipulated again," she says softly. Then she walks out, leaving them stunned, speechless, and finally facing the consequences they never expected. Ava cuts contact temporarily. She blocks calls, stops replying to messages, and gives herself the space she never had before. For the first time in her life, she chooses silence over stress. It feels strange at first, but also peaceful, like she can finally breathe without someone pulling her down. She begins therapy after her lawyer recommends it. At first, she sits in the chair feeling unsure, wondering if talking about her feelings will even help. But session after session, she learns things she never understood before. How she carried guilt that wasn't hers, how she always tried to earn love from people who didn't know how to give it, and how she kept sacrificing herself because she was afraid of being seen as selfish. With time, Ava starts letting go of that guilt. She realizes she doesn't owe anyone her life, her home, or her peace. Meanwhile, Marcus faces the consequences of his actions. The legal case moves forward, and he can no longer hide behind excuses. Without Ava to rescue him, he is forced to deal with the trouble he created. His charm and confidence fade when he sees that this time, no one is bailing him out. Denise becomes distant. She doesn't call to check on Ava, not because she doesn't care, but because she knows Ava won't bend anymore. Her control is gone. For the first time, she has to face the reality that Ava is no longer the obedient daughter who will give up everything for the family. Denise's silence says more than her words ever did. Ava, however, starts building a new life. She meets new people, kind people, who appreciate her for who she is, not for what she can give. She forms friendships that feel warm and safe. She slowly learns what it feels like to be valued without conditions. She invests in herself. She decorates her apartment the way she always wanted. She takes weekend trips, something she never allowed herself to dream about before. She starts a small passion project she had put on hold for years. Each step feels like a piece of her life coming back. Her confidence grows. She looks in the mirror and sees a stronger version of herself, someone who fought for her peace and won. Someone who learned that choosing herself isn't selfish, it's necessary. One evening, Ava sits on her balcony, watching the city lights. She feels calm, grounded, and proud. This apartment, this life, these dreams, they are hers. Not borrowed. Not taken. Not shared out of pressure. For the first time ever, Ava feels like she truly owns her life and her apartment, without apology. Ava sits in her apartment, sunlight filling the space she fought so hard to keep. The warm light makes the room feel soft and safe, like it finally belongs only to her. Her phone buzzes, and she checks it without hurry. It's a message from her mother. It isn't an apology, but it's something small. I know things went too far. Ava reads it quietly. She doesn't feel hurt anymore. No anger, no sadness, just peace. She sets the phone down and looks around her home, the place she earned through her own hard work. She breathes deeply and whispers to herself, choosing myself wasn't betrayal. It was survival. A gentle smile spreads across her face. For the first time, she feels truly free, free from guilt, free from pressure, free from her family's control. And in that moment, Ava knows she finally has her life back.